you are really standing out in this crowd today. And I have something called Glorious Broads. What is a broad to you?
When I think of the word broad, I think of someone like Marilyn Monroe. I really think of her as somebody that's in her skin, in her own body, and that doesn't mind having the camera look at her because she likes that sense of being seen, and that she's willing to be sensual at any age. If she had lived, of course she would have been.
Oh, she would have been. So you don't live in New York?
No, I live in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico.
But why New York? Why here?
Well, I have a design company. I'm a creator, maker. I live in Mexico where I work with families of seamstresses. And so I come here to buy the fabric that we use for all of our production.
Love.
Such as what I'm wearing. But then I also have lots of friends. I have lots and lots of friends here. So I get to hang out with them. And of course, the cultural life, the museums, the exhibitions, the dance, the street life. I love it all.
So, do you give a fuck about what people think of you? And if so, when did that change?
You know, I have to say, in all honesty, I don't. Probably I did when I was younger. I'm sure I did. But not as much as most young women and girls. I was injected with pretty good self-esteem from my grandmother as a young woman, a young child. And then I carried it forward as a young woman. So I do things that are by my own calling, and I'm not conscious so much, and I don't care. Because I think that no matter what you do, you will have people that will judge you, and you will have people that will admire you. So I put my focus on the admirers.
I love that. If you were 20 again, knowing what you know now, what would you do over?
I think I had sex with a lot of men that I really didn't want to have sex with. So I would say that having a sexual partner that didn't have any significance to me was not uncommon in my 20s. I would never go back to that.
You wouldn't do that?
I wouldn't do that now. Certainly wouldn't. And I wish I hadn't done it in my 20s, although I'm not regretful because it's experience.
Yes.
And we're always on that learning curve.
Yes. A little wasted energy, you're saying.
You know, when I look back, I'm like, what was I doing with him? What was I doing with him? What was I doing with him? And a few bad memories.
Yeah. What would you say is your greatest achievement?
Well, I started a business in Berkeley. I started a bookstore that became very well known for author readings. And it was one of the first feminist, spiritual consciousness kind of environments in the country at that time. Really proud of that work, really proud of that bookstore. I had it for 15 years. We closed because of Amazon apocalypse. That's when I moved to Mexico. And then I was clinically depressed for 4 years, seriously depressed. But I had to work. So I found the creative juice to start a new business. And that also has been successful. So I'm proud of the fact that I lost a company and started a new company. You know, and it's not easy being an entrepreneur, starting a company without any capital. But I'm fiercely independent, and I want to have my own business. I don't want to work for anybody else. So I'm proud of both those achievements, and they both gave back to the community in very significant ways.
I love that. How do you deal with your inner critic?
You know, these are good questions, and I don't mean to be vain, but it doesn't relate to me. I don't feel self-critical. I mean, I'm critical of my ankles. How's that? I have heavy legs, not the whole one, but I have problems below. And so I look in the mirror and I don't love that part of myself. But in terms of my essence, who I am, how I live my life, I have a lot of acceptance and a lot of moving forward and a lot of taking in the good. I am oriented in my attention towards positive thinking of everything around me and towards people that live life in a way that is creative, wildly creative, not kind of maybe every once in a while creative, but like give it all you have. Everything in your life is focused on a creative expression. So that is a force, that's a feat, you know,
Yes.
that energy lifts me, bolsters me, and I learn from it every day. So I have in my personality structure, if people are towards the negative in life, I have a bounce away. I don't want to spend time with them. Friends that send me negative articles, I tell them don't. So I push my attention towards things that are life affirming.
So I would say on that, if you had a tip for younger women, I could ask for two things: a sexual tip or just a tip about life. What would it be?
I'm no expert on sexuality, so I won't answer it in that direction. But I would say don't spend a minute, any of your time with people that are critical of you, that are sucking you dry. You know, you talk about people sucking the air out of the room. I like that phrase. It describes somebody that is either narcissistic or so insecure that whatever you do, they judge themselves, and then they feel insecure, and then they attack you. So no matter what, if it's a mother, a father, a family member, push yourself in a way that's kind to them as far away as you can get.
That's good. That is good. If you had an opportunity to have sex with yourself or to go to bed with yourself, would you?
I have. I do. Yeah.
What's your power move?
My power move is looking at my husband and loving him
Ooh.
and kissing him and really just having this guy that means the world to me in my home, in my life, in my bed.
So when have you felt the most sexually free in your life?
That was most certainly in my 40s. Really, I had a wild explosion of sexual energy in my 40s.
What do you think that was?
I know one reason: I took testosterone. So I was given testosterone by a gynecologist for a condition. Whoa, did that shoot me up with sexual energy. It is a very intense hormone, and I acted on it. It didn't stop me. I didn't have any brakes on,
Yes, I love it. So you were out and about.
could say. Yeah.
And very different from what you were saying about your 20s, where you may have regrets. This was like,
Oh yeah, no regrets. No regrets. And I mean, wild.
I love it. And also, 40s is a different time. Would you say there's a favorite time in terms of decades in your life?
Maybe the 40s, 50s. Yeah, 50s. I had just moved to San Miguel, and I was so happy to be out of the U.S. and I was so happy to be living out, in Mexico specifically, and in San Miguel most specifically. It is a tremendous community, and when you make such a big change in your life, when you give yourself the gift of something you wanted to do. Because earlier I said I had wanted to live in New York. I also wanted to live outside the U.S.
Yes.
I wanted to know who I was, not an American,
Yes.
and what it would be like to just be a citizen, a human, a being, and not American. And then San Miguel is just filled with people that are fascinating and creative, cultural creatives. So living in a town and it's a small town, so living in a town where you meet a lot of really fascinating people was a huge turn on to me.
Was it an opportunity to kind of rebirth yourself there?
Well, that's what I did. I started my company, Abrazos, San Miguel. Abrazos means embrace, because I felt embraced by the Mexican people, the Mexican culture, and they embrace us. And they do embrace us, and we embrace them. So I had this sensation of being embraced all the time, being hugged. That's another interpretation of Abrazos. So starting this design firm was another expression of my creativity. I think we need to respect ourselves profoundly, not just kind of and not just once in a while, but 100%, 100% of the time. And one way we respect ourselves is by being vigilant about who we let into our psyche, who we are intimate with, who we get close to. And when friends, this is a phrase, I've heard that it was said by Oprah. She said, when friends show you who they are, believe them. And that phrase means a lot to me. It means that people show up for who they are. We tell ourselves they're somebody else. We want to believe they're somebody else, but they're showing us who they are. And when you see signs, it's imperative that you redirect your energy. And even with family members, even if it's just taking time out, not going home so much, that you recognize that when people judge you, criticize you, attack you, compare themselves to you, suck the energy out of your life, dominate. We have a phrase in our family, ear bullies, when people are ear bullied, needy, that you find a way, kindly, gently, without creating drama, to move your attention away from that.
Well, that's a big one.
And them.
So how has sex changed for you as you gotten older?
Well, it used to be every type, shape, and form and position part of the body. It was uncensored. Now, sex can be having your arms wrapped around your husband and sitting on his lap. That's sexual. That can be sensual. I mean, it is sensual for me. So it's not this so much as this.
So, were you single for a long time in your life? You mentioned getting married later.
I divorced in 2000, and Ernesto and I married in 2018. We met in 2013. So 13 years single.
But why marriage at this point?
That's because it was an expression of our love. We were crazy about each other. We were madly, passionately in love with each other. Met in our 60s. It was a huge gift to us. Both of us were like, oh my God. Shut up, us. Both of us were so happy to find somebody that we could love and unite our life together. And it was a way to show each other and the world that we're in love with each other. It felt right.
Talk to me about that hat and this style of yours.
This hat, yeah. This hat was made by my friend Deborah Rappaport. She's an influencer, I guess you'd call her, on Instagram. And I saw the hat at the Illinois Gallery. I loved it. I want to show you how beautiful it is. It has her name in there. She's a dear, dear friend. And I chose it to wear for my wedding. So Ernesto and I married in 2018, so I got it that same year. My look, disheveled. My hair, what it is. I like bringing it up, twisting it up. Earrings.
Where are the earrings from?
Albuquerque Art Museum. I sell my products, my collection from Abrazos, San Miguel, to Albuquerque Art Museum. So I bought these there. My necklaces. This one is a gift from a friend, Nancy Flax, who makes these beautiful necklaces made out of rubber bands. These I got somewhere along the way. I don't exactly recall. I think in Berkeley, actually. But my friend Deborah, who I stay with at West Beth Artist Housing, I once came out of the room and I said, Deborah, should I wear this necklace or this necklace? And she said, wear them all. Wear them all. So I do. She inspired me. The jewelry, silver, all from San Miguel, Mexico City. Bracelets along the way. MoMA, $10. Got this in San Francisco 25 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, my hair. So it's up, it's free. I let it down sometimes.
It's style, baby. It's style. I love it.
And you know what? I really love my gray hair. It took me a while to let it grow out. My friend said, do it. I said, no, I don't want to be gray. I love being gray. I love it.
Very different for you.
What it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Love it.
This is the hair.